with Key Realty here for your monthly market update once again. And we are early July here, and I'm a little behind on the last monthly market update for June. I didn't get a chance to make a video for that, taking some time off, then I ended up getting COVID, was out for a week or so on top of that. So a little delayed here, but nonetheless, I want to get one out so you kind of can keep an eye on what's going on in the market. And I know there's a lot of questions going on right now with the market and what's happening. And there's some interesting things going on, I think, that you'll find fascinating. So I'll keep this one short and sweet because we actually don't have the numbers for June out yet, but we have May's numbers. We'll look at May's numbers, hopefully, and kind of talk about what's happening right now. Then hopefully I'll do another one once we get June numbers out. We can recap and see what's going on, because that's going to be a big picture of the transition from the spring market to the summer market. And May is really that transition month when people start thinking of summer and travel and things going on, and start transitioning their mind from spring to summer. And we started seeing some trends here. So I want to share those with you. I'm going to share my screen as always. And again, when we're looking at these numbers, it's always a little delayed because it takes a little time to get the numbers out to after the month. It takes about 20 days to get the actual numbers that we see, that we use and making predictions and tracking the numbers that the Columbus Board of Realtors tracks here for the Columbus region. There's some other tools that I use, but they're kind of on the kind of same schedule when it comes to tracking the numbers and when they get that data available. So without further ado, let's jump into May 20. This is May 21 here, April 22. And let me jump in to find May. One second, I'll show you how I find this stuff. So if you actually go to the Columbus Realtors, this is actually available to any and all who want to see it, just on their website. If you go to resources on the Columbus Realtor website, go down to housing reports, and this website will pull up for you, and you can jump on the latest May 2022 report here. So hopefully that's helpful. If you ever want to see these for yourself, feel free to jump on there. I give you a nice little layout, some charts, all that kind of stuff goes into statistics. But I like to focus on this first chart here. And we're seeing some interesting trends pop up here, because we're and I always look at the obviously closed sales is what a lot of people are tracking of where the market's going. Are we seeing an increase in sales or decrease? Are buyers still out there buying homes? Or are they slowing down? And as you can see here in May, we actually saw more houses sold in May 2020 than we did in 21. And we had a record year in 21. Keep that in mind, that as a year as a whole, we had a record year of number of homes sold since a while. So we're seeing that we actually saw in Columbus, in the Columbus region, we saw more homes sold than we did last year. So it's a sign saying, okay, the market's not necessarily cooling off, that the homes are still coming, homes are still being sold. The fascinating part is that we actually saw new listings drop in May, but we saw inventory supply come up. So that means that we saw new listings higher in the last few months. So we're still seeing a inventory the supply come up a little bit, which was great. 14% is actually a pretty good amount. So there's more homes in the market, but yet we're still seeing more homes sold, which kind of makes sense. There's more homes in the market, but the crazy part is that we're actually seeing days on market still drop. So we're seeing that went down 14%, which is a significant amount when it's already very, very competitive. It went from 14 to 12 days average days on market, which it's hard to believe it would get any less than 14. 14, a 14% decrease in that month, year over year is kind of phenomenal to think that way. And so long story short, we're still seeing amount of home selling. We're seeing a little bit of homes back on a little bit more homes in the market, but they're still competitive. That's kind of the story of the market right now. More homes, but they're still very competitive. So don't think if you're looking at Columbus, Ohio, that you're going to all of a sudden things are going to change. You're not going to, now we are seeing, since there are more homes, I am seeing in some areas and some situations where things aren't quite as competitive. But when I say that, it was ultra competitive a year ago, and now it's just, competitive, regular competitive, I guess you would say now. And homes are still selling for top dollar and for quick. So year over year, you can so year to date, you can kind of see the numbers here. this month compared to last month, gone down a little bit. Prices continue to increase as well because of that, because of the demand still strong. Prices are still going up. So the average price point now is over 350 in Columbus, Ohio, which has really grown really quick. And it's going to, when we hit that 350 mark, a 5 to 10% increase is significant now. And that, at 12% is obviously even more so. So we're going to see that price point really, as it comes to a percentage of appreciation, continue to jump until that slows down into the 3 to 5, which is historically kind of the historical, as a national historical, but Columbus has always been a little bit ahead of the curve there. So taking a look at last month, you kind of see last month we actually saw, or April, not last month, I guess looking at April, last month statistics we actually saw closed sales slowed a little bit. And so we saw a little bit, and this is where the spring market kind of came to fruition here. We saw spring market and also the transition into summer is kind of where May kind of falls into, but people are coming out pretty strong this summer. I'd be interested to see once we get June's numbers to kind of see what that looks like. That's going to be a really tell of the market, because we've had these higher interest rates start settling in. And so are people going to, were people just needing something really quick? I mean, even though in May interest rates were fairly high, they jumped in April, and so May did see a reality of higher interest rates. So June will be the real tell of, are we seeing these interest rates deter buyers or not? And that's been the big story the last year. Increase in interest rates, increase in prices, is it beginning to get unaffordable for people? According to May's numbers, not the case. People are still buying homes. Kind of just big picture stuff. I jumped on the National Realtors Association page. You can see existing homes fell 3.4%, but the prices still went up as a whole in the national world. So with that said, we're still seeing prices increase as a whole, and the nation saw a little bit of a slowdown. Kind of see here month to month that's down 3.4, year to year is down 8.6. So you can see nationally they saw a slowdown, but Columbus, Ohio actually saw an uptick. So so Columbus has got a lot of things going for it still. I think I've been pretty bullish on Columbus as a whole. Here's another page that if you're really interested in some statistics, CoreLogic does a great job of showing some statistics and going into the numbers. You can kind of see here, this is the 2022 national home prices again. This is the current year to year. We're at 20% again. I didn't, my prediction was, 10% for Columbus this last year. We're ahead of that already, but their prediction was 5%. So you can kind of see, they were again off. A lot of these people keep thinking there's got to be a slowdown. The reality is that we're still not building enough houses quick enough. New home prices are still much higher than existing homes. And people need places to live. Rents continue to increase. So, and with Columbus's, population growth, you find a city that's growing in population, especially when it comes to people coming from the coast and coming from areas where the price point here seems very affordable, if not cheap. Home prices are going to continue to increase, and people are continuing to buy homes. So that's kind of the base of that. It's just a search there. So anyways, this is kind of the update I want to kind of just share with you guys. If you guys have questions, if you want to talk more about your area, your house specifically, please give me a call or send me a message. Happy to always have that conversation, because, again, looking at Columbus numbers and the national numbers, they are different. And just like neighborhood to neighborhood in Columbus, it can vastly differ. So if you have a question about your neighborhood or your home, or you're looking to buy and how this affects you personally, please give me a call. Happy to talk about that. And until next time, we'll see you probably in a couple of weeks when the June numbers comes out. I'll try to put out another video. So in the meantime, if you need anything, just let me know. Thanks.